Good Sunday evening to you all. Welcome inside the FamilyDeal.com 7 Sports Cave, the last one of the month of July. I'm your host, Justin Rose. Coming up at tonight's show, a ton of coverage. We've got Lions training camp wrapping up. We've got to talk about the Tigers and their future. Trade deadline just on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So we have a special guest. Emily Walden from The Athletic, Tigers farm system beat writer, is here to talk about that. Lomas Brown, he checks in with me at Lions training camp. And we also have to meet a local guy trying to make the roster down in Allen Park. But before we get to that, let's talk about what happened today and this past week. The Lions wrapped up week 1 of training camp this morning. It was the first time fans, media, or the team got a glance at the new defensive tackle, Mike Daniels. Afterwards, Daniels said to the media that 13 different teams reached out to him once they found out he was cut by Green Bay, but there was only one coach he wanted to play for. You guessed it, Matt Patricia.
He's just a genius. He really is, man. He understands the game of football. He knows what it takes. So to be able to play for a coach like that, that means everything. It means everything. And I'm really trying to be restrained right now, because I'm so excited. If I could do a backflip, I'd do it right now, but I can't. But I'm really excited. I knew everything about him, man. I've always respected him, and I've always respected his work. And now I just thank God. I thank God that I got cut, and I have an opportunity to play with a defensive genius.
Now over on the offensive side of the ball, the players still getting used to new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. That includes Marvin Jones Jr. He's looking to take over the top duties in the wide receiver room. Kenny Galladay, of course, is there as well. Golden Tate has moved on, so those two are the keys. Jones didn't stay healthy all season last year, though, so while he's easing back into season shape, he's also not rushing and divulging much about this new offense.
There's always fuel, it's the same as, when I went down in 2014, I didn't play that year, came back. It's always, motivation. You always want motivation to pull from, when you're heading into the next year, particularly after injury. So I'm just here. I'm up and moving now, moving great, and just taking it day by day.
Lions will have the day off before they get back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Allen Park. All right, the Tigers will be in the news likely over the next few days. Trade deadline Wednesday, 4 o'clock. Nicholas Castellanos, Shane Green, Matthew Boyd, they're probably the 3 most likely players to be moved this week. Boyd, he pitched today, though, doesn't necessarily want to leave Detroit.
I feel a calling towards the city. I feel a calling toward this team. Every time I get to, wear this D, it's I don't take it for granted. It's truly special, and I want to bring a World Series to Detroit, and I want to do that soon. That being said, if I get traded, I know God's calling me somewhere else, but right now I'm a Tiger, and I would love to be a Tiger for however long he calls me to. I don't take this lightly, and it's truly a dream come true to wear the D, and I'm grateful to wear it today.
Yeah, now as for the game today, it potentially was Boyd's last game in a Tigers uniform, and if it was a tryout for the teams looking to trade for him, it was a pretty good one. He had 10 strikeouts on the day, outstanding until the 7th. We'll have more on that in a moment. Nico Goodrum gave the Tigers the lead for the 3rd time in as many games against the Mariners out in Seattle. Solo shot in the top of the 4th, got the scoring started today. They'd add a run to that. Harold Castro had an RBI, but Boyd got over 100 pitches. He walked 2 batters, and then Kyle Seager makes him pay for doing such a thing like that. Boyd left the game there. Tigers did eventually give up that lead. Joe Jimenez, yeah, he's not been playing as well as he would like to so far this season. Gives up the solo shot there to tie the game. So we head to extra innings in the 10th. The Tigers lost this game on this hit. Are you kidding me? Nobody gets to the bloop single, and then the throw to the plate. Yeah, not even close. Seattle sweeps the 4-game set. 3-2 today, the final. It's their first series sweep since April.
A break's going to go our way in one of these ball games, and it's going to work out for us. We just don't seem to come up with any breaks. We're not getting any, and you know what? We played a really good ball game there. We just didn't score anymore. We got to add on there, and the game's not like that. So we just didn't put enough quality at bats together, and you put yourself in that situation. We make one bad pitch, it ties the ball game up, and then you're just going, you know, do your bullpen like crazy again, and there you have it. A blue beats us.
Now, some of baseball's trade chips starting to fall earlier tonight. The Blue Jays traded All-Star pitcher Marcus Stroman to the Mets for 2 prospects. Now, it's unclear if this move will keep the Mets from trading one of their other highly regarded pitchers, including Noah Syndergaard, now that that trade happened today. Cleveland pitcher Trevor Bauer is a name that's been tossed around in trades as well, but the only thing he tossed today is a baseball into center field. Bauer was unhappy with giving up the lead to the Royals in Kansas City, so he decided to chuck a baseball over the center field fence from the pitching mound. Now, it's not a great look and definitely not a sight you see every single day. Bauer issued an apology, though, right after the game.
It was childish, unprofessional. There's no place for it in the game. Happy that it didn't result in any physical injury for anybody else. It was not directed at any of my teammates. Even though I know that it came off that way. Today I feel like I really let them down, both personally and professionally.
NASCAR at Pocono today, Denny Hamlin does something many drivers are familiar with. You know, when you don't get gas and the light comes on and you're thinking you might not make it? He pushed the limits, but he survived the flashing light, barely edges out Michigan native Eric Jones to be able to do donuts for the 5th time this season. He is the winner. Rory McIlroy held a 1-shot lead at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational in Memphis this morning, but he did not have the final day that he wanted. He shoots a 1/71, struggling to keep pace with his final pairings partner, who happens to be Brooks Koepka. The guy who doesn't practice certainly showed why maybe he doesn't need to. He charged to the front of the pack after overtaking McIlroy, never looked back today. Koepka shot 5 under on the day, 16 under for the tournament. It was his first World Golf Championship title. So congrats to him. By the way, guy just looks like he could just do pretty much any sport. He's a linebacker, probably could hit bombs from a baseball bat. He could do it all. All right, coming up next, plenty more on thefamilydeal.com 7 Sports Cave. Lomas Brown, he's the color analyst for your Detroit Lions this year. We go one-on-one talking about what he thinks the Lions are going to do this season. That's coming up next. Stay with us.